episode of Carp Master. Over the past couple of years, I've grown tired of carting loads of tackle with me when I go fishing. So what I've done is I've settled on one crate that carries pretty much everything that I would ever require in a session. Doesn't matter whether it's an overnighter or whether it is a 1 or a 2 week session. Let's quickly go and check. The first item is my compact caddy, and inside I've got my compact air dry bags, so that's sorted. I've got a hard case with all my spare spools and a couple of spools of line. I've got my spoms, I've got my dissolving foam, I've got my quarter towel, my crusher, I've got my bivy light, I've got my singles bag that is packed with all my alarms, the whole lot, everything in one nice compact system. Then I've got rig wallets, so there's a variety of rig wallets. I've got my quarter scale. Here I've got my marker floats and a couple of finger stalls. Here I've got all my spare batteries and headlamps, etc. You have to have some sunscreen, so I've got 2 tubes of that. I have always got a spare spool of braid with me. Then I've got my compact 220 with my fishing license in, my tackle box, and underneath there I've got a tackle safe, I've got my hook sharpening kit, my quarter propolis. Then I've got bits and pieces, I've got hooks and stuff, I've got my zig kit, I've got my chart safe, I've got all my safe zone leaders, I've got all my various backlets. There you go, there's my backlets. And then I've got spare lines and hook making equipment. And lastly, I've got all my PVA equipment all in one bag. Then of course I've got my rangefinder, my Nico Sterling rangefinder, and I've got my XT snag leader. And there you have it. Everything that you might require in one crate, no more that I need a trailer to cart everything around. Now, although crate 2 looks rather full, I do not take all of these with me when I go fishing. I make a selection of items and flavors depending on the water that I select. But at this point I also need to point out to you, when it comes to my particles, I keep my maize, hemp, tiger nuts and whatever, I keep them separate, and I only take out what I need to go and feed. Also, I replace the water in my particles every single day. So I take the water off and I put some fresh dam water in, mix it all up, give it a rinse, and then that I do every 24 hours. So please remember that. Now, when it comes to these are basically a selection of my preferred flavors and book baits, wafters and all sorts of stuff. So let's quickly go through my personal favorites. The first hook baits that I'm always really keen on, based on the color as well, is the 50-50 Frutella in wafters, 12 and 15 mils. The next ones are the diamond whites and the peaches and cream, always a good hit, and you can flavor them as well. Then I've got the essential IB pop-ups and wafters, and you can see from there it's almost empty, so you know which one always catches the fish. Then I've got the essential Sal. These are new ones that I got the other day, really good. I've also got the ziggers and the toppers. Toppers are great if you use either tiger nut, hook baits or whatever, just to top it up and also to give it a little bit of elevation. And the ziggers are great for the zigs. Then we've got the milky toffee. and you can see that they are also fairly empty. I use them quite a lot to flavor, like I've done with these, the banoffee pop-ups. These ones have been soaking in isotonic goo. I've also got the link pop-ups. This is also a fairly new one. And then I've got banoffee wafters. I've got cell dumbbell pop-ups. And I've got essential cell pop-ups. Then of course I've got a variety of hook baits that I coat in a goo. These ones have been soaking in the krill goo for quite some time, and I'm really keen on them now. Then of course I've got my orange foams. I've also got some liquids, and these liquids you can add to your particles, you can add it to your boilies, you can also add it to your stick mixes. It really works very well. And then I've got some hook bait enhancers, also essential IB. There I've got 2 of them. I've got some betadine, and I've got all my mixed bag of artificial plastics and foams and everything soaking in betadine. Then I'm also really keen on fishing boilies and cutting them in half and chopping them up. This one is a really good one, which is the 50-50 Fritella in 20 mils. And then also the essential IB. These ones are in 3 kilogram bags, and you know, they're resealable as well, which is great. Whatever you don't need now, you don't need to chuck it away. I bring it back home. I just make sure that they're covered and closed very, very tightly, and it's ready for the next time. Next in my bag of tricks is the spot and PVA pellets, and you would have seen from when I made the videos on the solid bags, these pellets are really, really nice. The smell is incredible, and there's a wide variety of sizes in these buckets. Really, really good. Worth having in your armory. Then of course the high impact ground bait systems. This is the activated hemp seed, but I also have the essential cell. And again, they also have a wide variety of bits and pieces in, and you can mix it up with your variety of liquids, and it just enhances your spot mix. It enhances your ground bait. You can make your stick bags from this. It really is worth having with you. And there you have it. Now you know what I take with me when I go fishing, tackle wise as well as bait wise. And all I haven't shown you now is the different particles that I take with me, but that I've done the other day when I showed you how to prepare the particles. Just one thing that I need to add at this point is based on a couple of questions people asked me. When it comes to the particles, a lot of them asked, do I pour all the water off? And the answer is no. What I do is I rinse my particles every single day, and normally I do not like to use particles for longer than 2 to 3 days. So I would normally make sure that I prepare only enough to last me for 2 days, so that I need to prepare fresh particles on day number 3. But that is just an idea. That's how I do it, and hopefully I've given you a little bit more insights on how to reduce the amount of tackle that you take with you when you go fishing, and how to be selective when it comes to your hook baits.